Every once in a while, you come across an anime that catches you completely off guard. It was not on my list, I had no idea about it, but once everyone kept hyping this anime up to me and hitting me up, I had to take a dive into Frieren Beyond Journey's End. And honestly, everybody was right. This is one of the best animes of the year, and it truly does hit different. This anime is not loud, it's not over the top, and definitely not your usual OP, MC, plus monsters type formula. Frieren is slow, it's sincere, and somehow it manages to punch you in the soul with nothing but a quiet sunrise and a few words about death. From the moment I started watching, I knew this wasn't just going to be about magic or adventure. It was about to be something much, much more. We're talking growth, time, regret, and the simple beauty of being a human, told through the eyes of an elf. In Frieren Beyond, we're introduced to the main character. She is an elven mage who has lived for centuries. She doesn't age, it seems like. She doesn't rush and she doesn't get too attached, at least not at first. After the great 10-year war against the Demon King, she and her legendary party that will be known throughout the entire world with Himmel, Heiter, and Eisen, the four of them return as heroes. Then comes the twist. Instead of diving into a new conflict, the story is very fast forward for decades. Her comrades grow old and two of them die, and Frieren barely blinks. That's how numb she has come to the sense of time. That is how numb Frieren is as a person. At least that's what we think in the beginning. What is different about this anime is how hard she jokes and how hard they hit, because it is genuine innocence. About seeing her friends again in like 50 years, which is nothing to her because time is irrelevant. It truly is nothing, but they laugh at her. She has lived so long she has lost the concept of time until she is forced to feel it. And that comes after Heiter's death. Frieren reluctantly takes on a new apprentice, who is Heiter's apprentice, Fern. She is a young human mage in training. And just like that, we begin the slow, quiet hero's journey. Not for glory or revenge, but for understanding. Over the series, you see Frieren change. Not too dramatically, not all at once, but subtly and beautifully. She begins noticing small things like flowers. She starts to enjoy sudden things like the sunrise. She remembers Himmel's regrets. Her humanity is slowly leaking through the cracks of her immortal exterior. And she has learned this through Himmel the hero, a human hero and part of their main team. Now let's not get it twisted. This is not a plot-driven anime. It's a life-driven one. It's about learning to care after centuries of indifference and making yourself human again. About finally understanding your time on Earth and what you actually will get out of that, and that is camaraderie. By episode 6, Fern has truly proven herself as an apprentice, not just a sidekick, but a fully formed mage. She defeats one of the gods, as a Torah, a beast that wiped out 75% of the kingdom's mages, not through flashy spells, but with calm, practiced fundamentals. And guess what? That was taught by her master, Frieren. That quiet kind of growth, it hits hard. And Frieren, let's get a little bit more into her. She goes from a detached loner to someone who cherishes memories, like I said. A reluctant mentor to a protector of Fern and the other people she picks up along the ride. An eternal wanderer to part of a tribe. Even Eisen, the last member of the original party, and he shows up and says it best. This one hits so hard. Life isn't about sunset. It's about the smiles, the joy, and the people that you share it with. That quote alone just hits. And as I said, the elven mage is starting to open up her party. And the next person they come across is Stark, Eisen's apprentice, a kid full of self-doubt who just needs a chance to prove himself. And guess how that is? Finding and fighting a dragon. It's brutal, but Frieren watches from a distance, letting him rise or fall on his own. Well, spoiler alert, he does rise and he ends up traveling with them, and he is part of their new trio. It is a callback from the original four, except this time it's her legacy, the one that's guiding them. She has learned everything about being a human from Himmel, and this is a repetitive theme throughout the show. Also, it's worth noting, Frieren never reveals who she is to the people in any villages. She knows that she was part of the heroes' party, and the villages continue to sing song about her and the four heroes, but she keeps it very quiet. And again, this is a quality that she learns from Himmel. She learns humility, or maybe she just doesn't realize how much she truly means to the world. Either way, it's very subtle, yet very powerful. And then we continue to get hit with very good quotables, and this is what draws me closer and closer to being one of my favorite animes of 2025. At one point in time, Frieren actually states, "Elves don't reproduce. We don't feel deeply. Our kind is slowly fading away." It's such a dark contrast to the warmth of the show. Frieren, with all her strength, lives with the weight of a dying legacy, not just as a person, but as a species. She knows she will not reproduce, and the only way that she'll be passed down is through her apprentice. Because whenever they were part of the hero party, Himmel was always concerned about being a hero so that they would build statues of him, so they will talk about him for eternity. Not Frieren. She is knowing she is the last of her kind. This type of emotional death is why Frieren won Drama of the Year. Crunchyroll got this one right. It's not about the plot. It truly isn't. It's not about the fancy, quick shakes or anything like that. It's about philosophy, memory, and what gets left behind. And of course, we're going to come across some controversy. And the first controversy we actually see is demons in the modern era. That is Luigi and Lini, demons who are pretending to be human. And for the first time, we see Frieren actually snap. Publicly, she tries to kill them and quote unquote misses. Ends up in custody, but we know she's not a fool and this was part of her plan. It was a warning shot. She knew they were monsters in disguise and she was faced to show everybody that in town. As this episode progresses, the fight that follows is incredible. Fern defeats Ludwig through her sheer discipline, proving that flashy magic isn't better than focused fundamentals. Meanwhile, Stark takes out Lenny with a thunderous blow, letting her memorize his moves, and then he does something fake. This will come to full fruition at the end of the series. They are giving you little bitty plots, they're giving you little bitty hints throughout this entire show, and it is gorgeous. Frieren's lessons live throughout her students, and it is so satisfying to watch. And then we finally get the final member, Sen. He's a priest. He's literally drowning in the muck when we meet him. And Frieren doesn't use the magic that she would traditionally do to essentially get him out like that. She stands there trying to recall the perfect spell to lift him out. Totally absurd, yet perfectly fitting for her, because she does not want to get dirty. There's this haunting thread that runs through everything. Frieren has forgotten more than most people will ever learn. She's been alive for so long, and just the little bitty things like birthdays, laughter, gifts, all of this slips past her and is not being rude. It is true innocence. By episode 15, this truly slams home. The group is walking home through a dirty town and there's nothing but dead bodies everywhere. Frieren takes one look and says, you know what, this smells like trouble. Let's turn around and skip it. And it's not because she is a cold-hearted beast. It's not because she is an evil mage. No, not cold at all. It is just pure experience. But it stings because it shows the emptiness that is truly inside of her. And then we close into the latter arc of this series. And by episode 20, the crew finally enters in their final mission. The whole reason that they took off on this adventure in the first place. The first class mage exam. Is a classic shonen setup. Maybe, but the way that they've been playing this series, we know that we are in for something different. When Frieren gets denied entry due to her low rank, that's right, she's lived for hundreds, maybe even thousands of years, but she has never went over a level 3 mage. She literally just turns around and tells Fern, well, looks like you got this. There is the subtle comedy that truly cracks me up in the show. She is definitely the strongest mage in the room and one of the strongest mages of all time, but the title means nothing to her. During the trial, we get the most beautiful payoff. Frieren, Fern, and Stark. The three of them end up splitting up, each one showing how far they have truly come. And in the final boss fight, something crazy happens. They end up fighting a version of themselves, a carbon copy. Remember how I say they were playing little bitty seeds? Well, their time to come to fruition. And Fern's plan is to defeat Frieren. It's genius. It's emotional. It is the passing of the torch and having the student surpass the master in the most poetic way possible. It just catches you off guard and it hits you in the feels, and it's something that you are truly a part of. Like I said, this is the hero's journey. This is passing the torch on to the next generation. Frieren isn't just about magic. It's about time. It's about letting go. It's about remembering how to feel after centuries of forgetting and growing. It's not perfect. It's a very slow anime, and you can tell that Frieren and the writers ask you to be patient. But if you got the patience, this is something that gives you something more valuable. It's perspective. And just maybe it'll make you help become a better person. It's well deserving of the drama of the year, and this is one of the best animes that I've ever seen. Definitely in the top 5 for 2025. I hope you all love this just as much as I did, because Frieren, A Journey Beyond is one of the greatest animes. But that's the review. Tell me what you thought about it. I'm really excited for a season 2. I don't know if they will do it, and if they do a standalone, I am perfectly fine with that. So we will see. But that's the review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Also, guys, make sure you check out the Discord. We've got some like-minded people in there talking, having a good time, talking about anime, video games, and some other things. So check that out. DT Burdett, you know what to do.